Welcome to Public Space, a community dedicated to supporting individuals who have experienced religious trauma or find themselves in between and are looking for self-God as well as community. We exist beyond the four walls of colonized religion. Here, we create a safe and vibrant space where members can explore and share spirituality, stories, art, and intellectual inquiry through critical dialogue. Join us as we embark on a journey of healing, self-discovery, and creative expression. Together, we will foster a supportive community that empowers individuals to reclaim their voice, embrace their unique journeys, embody a Path-Maker Archetype, and find solace and strength in the company of like-minded individuals.
Greetings, Pathmakers, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2. Interesting enough, while off path, we had a brief moment due to Mercury retrograde, to talk with Dr. Louis Turry, who is an astropsychologist, psychic, prophet, and great teacher. And he was helping us understand divine astrology. So because of Mercury retrograde, we only got about 12 minutes. Hope you enjoy. More to come. We're looking to set up a time to talk more with Dr. Turry about divine astrology and how this concept can help practitioners like ourselves who are venturing off path beyond religion. So enjoy. All right. Welcome, Dr. Turry. Please, can you start us off with telling us a little bit about yourself and your work?
Well, first, let me thank you for having me as your guest. And I am French-American, of course. I have both nationalities. I was born and raised in the south of France, in Provence, where Nostradamus was born. And again, I've got nothing to do with the great prophet. Apart from that, I was born under the same stars out there, and I spent pretty much my entire life rekindling his 16th century divine astrology methodology. That's where I'm from.
That's incredible. Thank you so much. And we are a little bit familiar with the many publications that you have written. But today we were just interested in wondering if you could elaborate or help us understand better the concept of divine astrology.
Well, divine means that I am not either teaching my student or dealing with client with the mathematical jargonized modern astrology, which involve trans, sextile, solar, Saturn, return, opposition, conjunction, all this mathematical jargon literally uh, does not help anyone which is interested in understanding his relationship with God, cosmic design. So I make it simple. That's why I call it divine. We are using intuition. We are using symbolism. We are using simple words, anything and everything that allow them to understand how they were computerized by the scheme of things.
Yeah, that's incredible. Wow. As a follow-up question, what drew you to this work? What drew you to start seeing the stars as divine language?
Well, first of all, you're not going to teach Michael Jackson, for example, to sing and dance. You're not going to teach people to do what they do best naturally. So I was born with a UCI, or unique celestial identity, which allows me to enter the archetypal realm of supracosmic consciousness and understand God cosmic design, or Jesus cosmic ministry, so to speak. Um, so it's a gift that could become also a curse sometimes, because you get to know so much, yet people are not either willing or ready to delegate a cosmic consciousness. They'd rather stay into what they feel comfortable, which means they are religious indoctrination.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is interesting. And in your work, you do mention how religion is sort of holdings. It holds people from continuing to see themselves or what they can become. Could you elaborate a little bit more about that? Because some of our listeners or people in the audience or in the community, they're kind of transitioning from religion to outside of it, and they have concerns. But it seems like your work can contribute to some sort of confidence in knowing that God is on the other side.
Yeah, again, you're not going to go to hell. This is it. you humans do not learn their karmic lesson by readings. That's why you feel the pain emotionally and physically. So you're already on hell in your ignorance and your fears, but you can turn it into a paradise if you build up enough cosmic consciousness and use those stars that were given to you as a birthright by the Creator himself. And let me tell you a little story. I got to bring you back when I was about 8 or 9 years old. Um, every Tuesday, we had to go to the church. I mean, that is government. Indoctrination started really, really early so that politically oriented churches will survive without paying tax on your donations, can survive. So the first time I enter the church, I saw a man in a cross, and I saw blood coming out from his heart. I was petrified. I ran out. Of course, the priest and my teacher ran after me. He said, what's wrong with you, Louis? I said, I don't want to be there. And then the priest was stinking wine. And I said, stay away from me. You stink. Your breath smell. I was a kid. I was very honest. So at a very early age, I subconsciously knew that was the wrong way to go in seeking God. It's just man-made. The Bible is that thick because it's been edited over the century to fit the current jurisdictions. For example, the Pope right now is dedicating to have women as priests. It's either they adapt or they die. The same with the LGBTQ community. They all have to be accepted in order for the church to survive. So it's just a really, really big manipulation, an agenda that has been cursing humanity since the get-go. Again, I am Christian myself because I was born in France. But if I was born in the Middle East, in Asia, or in Africa for that matter, I would not be Christians. So, critical thinking tells you that we are all cursed geographically by a religion that has been imposed upon our family for centuries. And there are over 5,000 denominations to be poisoned with, while actually all this is man-made. The problem that I have is when you start to change the ultimate divine jurisdiction imposed by God cosmic design and change that with man's religious folly, what you get is the huge chaos we are in, where people do not degenerate. They do not regenerate, they degenerate because they don't have the answers to what it means to be human as intended by God when he created the stars and the heavens, to be used as sign so that you may lead a safer, more productive life, I may add.
Yeah, beautifully said. Thank you. Powerful. And it is a great reminder that along this path, there's intuition. And we were wondering if you could speak on that, the role of intuition and inner divinity when understanding the stars.
Well, first of all, let's be objective. Your mind is nothing else than a computer which is reacting to an outside stimuli induced by the universal mind. So we all have been basically computerized, okay, to perceive our reality and perceive our life through our 5 limited human rational senses. However, when you're a Pisces like me, you're born with a tremendous amount of intuition, extra sensitivity that can allow you to do the job that I do as an astropsychologist, astrology, or even psychic, whatever fits you, so to speak. Intuition, it's something that, again, you're born with or you're not. If your astrological chart or your UCI, meaning unique celestial identity, happens to be loaded with Earth sign, You're going to be logical, you're going to be rational, you're going to turn yourself into an engineer, a mathematician, someone who builds gearbox or bridges. And we need this type of people that end up, since they are practical irrationals, in position of power structure. But if you are loaded with water sign, then you're going to be more sensitive, intuitive, creative, and you'll be naturally drawn to become an artist, a painter, a photographer, a spiritualist, God knows what. So you're already preset by the cosmic code to have and be born with intuition, or with less intuition if you fall under the rational earth sign. It's just a matter of education. And currently, I might add, Mercury, the planet of communication, is retrograde. And that means Mercury will try to stop every single move we're trying to make, and will mess up the communication, including this video that we are making today. There are no accidents in my world. There are only cosmic circumstances at play that humanity and our infantile scientific community has not yet been either able or willing to investigate, realize, and accept. I see that you're gone. And again, I can only blame Mercury, the planet of communication and transportation, being retrograde. Or one of the reasons why, again, President Trump has signed up certain bills that have literally killed hundreds of thousands of jobs of people who drives on the roads. There is so much to explain, but it happens that doing a Mercury retrograde is taking a chance with the stars, which are trying to stop us moving forward. However, Mercury retrograde means also a great opportunity to look inwards, to realize that you may be forced to reevaluate or reschedule all sorts of things. And at the same time, it allows you to become much more intuitive as you have introspection, retrospection working on your favor, with the planet of communication and transportation going backwards. So at that point, I do not know what to do. But it looks like if we may have to reschedule when Mercury goes direct, so we can avoid this type of accident. And in my world, there are no accidents. I repeat myself, only cosmic circumstances at work that mankind has not yet been able to decipher, to understand, or even to use for that matter.
Thinking about starting a podcast but don't know where to begin? Do you want to improve the quality of your podcast? Struggling with podcast editing and post-production? Want to enhance your podcast's storytelling? Ready to take your podcast to the next level? Discover how Lost Raven Studios podcast consulting can walk with you. Visit our website and schedule a free